Saksham, taking a look at your assignment here. Yeah, thanks for the submission. It's looking good. So let's get into the nitty gritty of it. Cool jump. I'm glad I can see the entirety of the reference now. Really cool stuff. I feel like okay, so let's talk about what's going on. So this starting thing here, I like this pose a lot, you know, but I'm focused here on this foot. Like this foot doesn't move and the back foot seems to slide around a bunch, and I kind of feel like it would be the opposite of that, you know what I mean? Like, so here I would want to see the whole character like translated back in space, where the red foot kind of stays planted and it's the blue foot that's translating forward to get to this spot to hit. Let me turn off ghosting and figure things out. To hit this pose, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's just my thoughts about that, because I feel like if this character is about to start into a run or launch or whatever, that all the weight and force would be being applied to this foot to get the forward momentum going. Hopefully that makes sense. But then looking at the poses here, I feel like especially with this foot being back like it is, that this arm should be kind of forward, you know what I mean? Like the leg that's back and the arm is going to be opposite of the arm that goes forward. And that'll help kind of clear up your silhouette here. And clear silhouettes make for like stronger drawings. So maybe you can get the arms like clear of the torso and get all that working. Just stronger poses, maybe. It is working. I didn't mean to say get it working, but just make your poses stronger. Cool. So I feel like this crouch pose works here really well in anticipation of launching over the wall, but it doesn't work so well as far as like a running pose. So I think for this, I think it would be better. I think it'd be a stronger pose to have it kind of be like still lean forward. Maybe this foot, this is the, I'm going to call it the red leg, even though it looks like the controllers are pink. You know what I mean? Like have it kind of be leaning forward here in anticipation of getting into this crouch. And then this foot is dancing around a little bit, so you definitely want to lock that down. I like that this anticipatory pose here of that foot being up, so I just like keep it planted on the ground forward here. And I think that is also going to make a stronger looking pose, and it's going to be a little bit more consistent, because here it also slides forward. So here, yeah, I don't know exactly where it was before, but yeah, just little pose suggestions. And then really make this blue foot look, I don't know, it may not reach anymore because of the length of the leg or whatever, but what I really want to see is like this the blue foot staying on the ground as long as possible, because that's really like the push off. That's where the push off force is going to happen. So the leg might not be able to stretch this much, right? The pink or red leg being up in the air is totally cool and fine. But even see here on the reference, like this foot stays planted longer, almost as much as possible, because like that's really the force that's launching this person up into the air is coming from that leg. So yeah, I think again, like maybe here there's too much, I feel like there's too much like kind of downward posture on the torso here. Or like if I'm looking at where the hip is to where the shoulders are, it's more of like an upward kind of thing here. And I know you're probably trying to get the arms to reach. So maybe in order to help solve that, the arms need to be a little bit like further along on this block, so it can be a little bit more straight, so that you can get this torso like a little more straight. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah. Because like here you can see how this character's back is arched like this into a ball, but you kind of have the opposite arch going on. So I don't know, hopefully this rig can do it, but I would try to keep it arched like this through this section, you know, as the character curls, tries to pull these legs up over the block. And then I would try to design something a little less like, these are kind of twinned a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So if you could even like just change the angle of this one so it's a different angle from this one. I'm drawing the feet massive. I think that'll help. And then anything, you know, right here you have some separation on the knees, which I like to see. That's great. And then make sure as you're doing this, you're like tracking the arcs, or you're considering the arcs of the feet. Because here it's like they feel like they go down. This is a cool pose, but I don't know that you can be, so what I would do is, I don't know that you can be in that pose as quickly as you get into this pose, right? Like I feel like I'm missing a little bit of transition of the feet. Like maybe the red foot, you know, we need to see it going from like here to here. To here. But it just seems like the leg goes from like this bent pose to like perfectly straight. And so I think we need like an in-between or a breakdown pose to show that transition happening. Does that make sense? Yeah, and here, like, I would keep the foot pointed down, kind of like how it is in your reference. And not have the toe be up. Yeah, I feel like even on this pose, get the toe, even if you can get the toe down first instead of landing on the ball, it may look pretty, it may be a stronger pose. And then, you know, we need to still keep worrying about trying to get the feet from stacking on each other. This looks like an orthographic camera, so I don't know if this is this a perspective camera? It's probably an orthographic camera. If you want this to be your shot camera, I would set up a perspective camera from this same angle, but let's view this from your shot camera. Because yeah, maybe if this blue foot is still back a little bit or something, I don't know, that we can get the feet separated a little bit more so that they're not entirely stacked on top of each other, so we get like clear silhouettes and stuff like that. These are terrible drawings. The feet I'm drawing are huge or whatever. But yeah, really cool stuff. I would also love to see a couple more poses when you get a chance at the end of some kind of like resolution. And even if you don't have the reference for that, that might be kind of fun exercise to try to figure it out. Like what would the weight do, what would the momentum do, and all that stuff. But it's less important to me than hitting some of these other notes. But good progress, good stuff. These poses are cool. Yeah, I guess for the next submission, if you could, like, turn off the control curve so I can see this more clearly, and maybe turn off the grid so I can, like, see what's happening a little bit better. Yeah, but other than that, this is looking great. Really good start. Hopefully you're having fun doing it. Yeah, it looks cool. Again, I think I gave this note last time, but I would try to keep the head as much as you can, like looking forward and not like staring down at the ground. Of course, the head may be forced to rotate down, or maybe there's a little look to like where they're gonna land, but I kind of feel like if this character's eyes were looking at the ground, it would be kind of like looking out the bottom. So I think you could afford to keep the head like tipped up a little bit more than how it currently is. But yeah, great stuff. Thanks for the submission. Hopefully you have a restful break, and I'll see you in a couple weeks.